What's going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video, what I thought I would do is give you guys a 2021 update on the pros and cons of buying a home around the Boston area. The market has certainly changed, so has the world in the last 6 to 12 months. So I thought I'd give you guys an update of my opinions on some of the advantages and disadvantages of making a move within the Boston market. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, 2 super quick things, guys. Number 1, if this is your first time on my channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. I put out tons of new videos every single week, giving you guys highlights of the neighborhoods, tips on buying, selling, and all content about living in Boston. So if that's the kind of stuff you're looking for, make sure you subscribe. And number 2, guys, if you're thinking about doing anything with real estate, whether it's buying, selling, or investing around the greater Boston area, I still get so many calls from you guys watching these videos, and it is still absolutely incredible. So if you are thinking about making any moves, hit me up and I will definitely help you out. So with that, let's get at it. So let's jump right into the content and talk about the pros and the cons. I'm gonna start with my personal pros of buying in today's market. And pro number 1 is I still think there is plenty of appreciation upside in the Boston market if you're buying today. And here's what I mean by that, right? If you've seen my other videos, guys, you know I'm a huge believer in the Boston real estate market. There's just a lot of factors playing economically that I think are just advantageous, right? We've got some of the best industries and the most diverse industries all in Boston. We've got healthcare, tech, finance, biotech, pharma, healthcare, education, right? And I know I'm missing a couple. So economically, the city is incredibly strong. There's a lot of development and investment going into all of these different neighborhoods. So I think if you buy real estate today, and without the plan of trying to flip it next year and make $100,000, right? As long as you're not going in with that sort of mindset, I think if you sit on it for at least a couple of years, you're gonna do super well on the investment. Pro number 2, and this is kind of more specific to you guys out there who might be renting right now and are considering buying, is the rental market has actually bounced back incredibly strong. Right? As many of you guys know, during COVID, a lot of the rental prices, especially within the city, completely tanked, right? And they were literally giving units at like insane discounts, right? Like 30–40% discounts. But that gravy train unfortunately has kind of ridden itself out, right? I have a lot of friends that have rented, were getting amazing deals, and now the landlords have told them, hey, you know what, we have to go back to market rents. So if you're renting and if your rent just increased right now might be the perfect time to buy, right? Because for that same rental amount that you might be charged if you're gonna live in, you know, Boston, Cambridge, Somerville, you can easily buy a home, buy a condo, have a mortgage payment that's literally pretty equivalent to that rental amount, and actually pay down principal and build your equity. So if you're renting and your landlord has had a tough conversation with you recently, I think now is a good time to really consider jumping into the market. Pro number 3 that I would consider now is today, like it's been for the last year and a half or so, interest rates are still incredibly low, right? So you wanna take advantage of that. Grab yourself some 30-year fixed term debt at like literally 3% or even sub 3%, depending on exactly when you buy. But take advantage of these rates, lock yourself in, right? These low rates also allow you to buy more house now more than ever. So if you needed a bigger space or you want somewhere like a nicer location, now is literally the time to take advantage, capitalize on these interest rates, and get yourself into a home around the area. Now let's talk about some of the potential cons about buying a home today. So number 1, the market, as I said, even though it's not back to its full pre-COVID levels, it certainly can be competitive today, especially on the really nice units in the most desirable locations. So even some units within the city, within Boston, Somerville, Cambridge, Brookline, some of those really prime units will get bids that first weekend, and they can still certainly be very competitive, even though, as I said, generally there are still units out there. A lot of the units will kind of sit a little bit. The suburbs are still pretty hot, right? Again, those really prime, pristine homes, they will fly off still pretty quick today with multiple offers that first weekend. But again, we are, even in the suburbs, you are seeing a little bit more inventory starting to sit. So buyers are slowly starting to have just a little bit more leverage. Now, con number two that I would think about if I were buying a home is pricing is certainly up there, but I have seen quite a bit, especially recently, of sellers pricing their home with anticipated appreciation baked into the price, right? And basically what I mean by that is they're essentially overpricing the home because they think, oh, the market's gonna continue to appreciate at 5, 10, 15%, whatever it is, right? So if you're out there, just be cognizant of that. Understand that some pricing may not reflect market pricing today, and that they might be trying to kind of grab a little bit of that extra appreciation from the future. So just really do your homework when you're buying units and homes today. And finally, the third con I would just be aware of, this is kind of more relevant if you're going to be buying new construction homes, is that there is major delays with everything. If you're gonna be buying new construction, you're probably aware that there's major shortages with both labor right now, right? I mean, it's breaking the news in every single industry where there's just not enough labor to fulfill demand. Plus, materials are also quite backlogged, right? So all materials are taking much longer to deliver than ever before. So between those two factors of tight labor market, very tight material supply chains, right? It's just become, all new construction homes are facing a lot of delays today. So if that's something that you're gonna look into, just make sure you really plan out your timelines and have some true flexibility, because it more than likely will be delayed and you'll need to have a lot of flexibility and work with a builder to get that new construction home that you've been looking for. So hopefully that gives you guys a couple of points to think about. Ultimately, I do think it's still quite favorable right now. I've been buying quite a bit of real estate myself, and I've had a lot of buyers buying homes recently as well and getting just great deals and doing very well on them. So make the decision for yourself, understand the pros, understand some of the cons, but if you've still been sitting on the sidelines or you're thinking about moving to the area, I think right now buying is a great opportunity. So if you guys have any questions, any concerns or comments, make sure you put them in the comments below and I will definitely help you